Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering maintenance plans basics. This webinar will cover maintenance plan setup, adding a maintenance plan with no payment, adding a maintenance plan on an invoice to take payment, and then we'll go over some maintenance plan visits, how to schedule your visits, and maintenance plan discounts and how that works in your system. We'll do a live Q&A at the end where you can get your questions answered live on stream. And without further ado, let's dive into WEX FSM. If you want to set up maintenance plans in your system, the first place that you will go is the maintenance plans template page. We're going to go and start at more applications, maintenance plans. So you'll log into your WEX FSM system, hover over more applications in the main navigation, and click on maintenance plans. That will bring you to your maintenance plan page. As you can see, we have some different templates here, and these are the different plans that you would offer. Now, just as a baseline tip, this will be based on your maintenance plan program and how you want to set this up. What you're seeing here is just some examples. You maybe only service, single family home residential, but each of those may have different assemblages of equipment. So you could create a one system residential plan, and then a two system plan, and then a three system plan. And you can have different plans based on what you're offering to your customer and based per system. You are servicing commercial customers and you know that you're going to have to go out and service them once a month or once every quarter, and you can set those service windows. So you can get very detailed with your templates, and we're going to build a template now from scratch. To do this, you will click New Maintenance Plan, and you will fill out the information and click Save Maintenance Plan. Now, to help us along with this, I have already created a plan that's already filled out, and we'll use that for our example. I'm going to go to the Comfort Club plan. And the plan name, this is going to be what your customer will see when you add this to your proposals or invoices and you're selling the plan to your customer. They will see the plan name and the plan description. The plan description, you usually want to put what you're actually offering, and this is what your customer will see. So if I'm a customer and I'm determining whether or not I want to sign up for your maintenance plan, I will most likely be reading what this is offering and what you're going to do. And that is going to be the plan description. When a customer in your system becomes a maintenance plan customer, a star will show up next to their name anywhere you see their name. So you'll know at a glance who your maintenance plan customers are and who are not. If they have a star, they're a maintenance plan customer. And you can also change the color of that star per plan. So maybe for my Comfort Club plan, I want it to be blue, but maybe I have a commercial plan that I want to be red. And that way, if I see a blue star, I know it's this plan. If I see a red star, I know it's the other. Now, contract length. This is important. When your customer signs up for a maintenance plan, they will be signing a contract saying that, we're going into an agreement together for the next year. I will come out and do two services a month, and you will pay for those services. And this contract you can set to be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, up to 10 years. And the way this works for the per years option, when I set it, let's say I set this to 1 year. In your system, you sign someone up for the Comfort Club plan. Now they will be under contract for a year. And after that year, it will then be expired. It will show that that plan has expired, and you would just sign them up for another plan and get a renewal in. Maybe I only want to do renewals every 5 years. So you could set your customers up on a 5 year plan, and that will build out the next 5 years of service window jobs. And then you'll just use those jobs to schedule your appointments for 5 years. And at the end of those 5 years, it will show as expired. And you sign them up for another five. And then we have until canceled. And this is different from the per year options. Until canceled, which is best paired with our recurring monthly payment plan for maintenance plans, we'll set out the next 20 years of service window jobs. And technically, it's 20 years, but it's a long time. So it will feel like until canceled. And really, your customer, they will give you, if you're setting up a recurring payment plan, they will provide their payment details to you. That will save securely in their system, and it will auto debit that payment on file at the interval that you set. Until canceled is great because then you have the contract is not going to expire and the payments are coming in and those are paired together. So if you are going to do a payment plan, I would recommend doing until canceled. That way you don't have to worry about it expiring. Then you have your price. Now, everyone chooses to do the pricing differently, but here are some general options that you may want to use. One option is you put a price here. So this example would be, I'm going to make a Comfort Club plan. And let's say this is the Comfort Club plan one system. And I know that that is $100. But if it's a two system maintenance, that would go up to, 150. Three system, 200. Whatever your pricing is, you can put a set price. The benefit The benefit of this is if my technician is out in the field and they're going to sign a customer up for a maintenance plan, I'll be able to just click on which of the different pricing options I want, and I won't have to do any math in the field. The pricing's already determined for me because when you set the templates up, the pricing is put here. However, maybe you're thinking there are so many different pieces of equipment and assemblages that each of my customers pay something different for their maintenance plans because they have different equipment. In that case, you could just set the pricing here to $0. And then you would determine what the price is in the moment when you're looking at the systems and you would just determine it then. Now, that will require more mental math. You'll have to do the math in the field, and maybe you don't want your technicians to have to do math in the field. So that is up to you. But those are the two main ways I do see this being used. You either set the price to what you want, and that will be the price that is set in the field. You can update those prices in the moment if you need to, or just set it to $0. That becomes more customizable, and you would just determine the pricing in the moment. Account is if you are syncing to QuickBooks, and this is saying the revenue for this maintenance plan will sync to QuickBooks and go to the income account that you select here. So I know that this is for jobs, so I am going to put my income job account. Do you want to collect tax? Yes or no? Do you want to see these terms? The add editable terms will allow you to type in or even copy and paste your terms and agreements for your maintenance plan program into here. Or you can upload a PDF. Maybe you have a really nice brochure that you've been using for years. And as long as you have that in a PDF file, you can upload that here. And your customer will be able to see the invoice that has the maintenance plan on it. And then attached to that will be whatever you upload here, which could be a really nice maintenance plan write-up of your program and what it offers. And then service windows. And this part is very important to stay organized with your maintenance plan visits. Here's an example. If I have a customer who signs up for this Comfort Club plan, this is saying that we're going to go out between January and June and do their AC cleaning. We're thinking HVAC in this example. And then we'll go there between July and December and do a heat cleaning. When I add this maintenance plan to my customer, it will create two jobs. It'll make an AC cleaning job and a heat cleaning job. When I go to schedule those maintenance visits, I'll want to use these jobs. And we're going to get into that. You're going to see how easy it is to see those jobs and schedule your maintenance visits in the right place. But these jobs are helping us stay organized, so we separate our maintenance visits from our normal jobs that we do for our customers. Service window type, job type. This is essentially you are determining what type of job this is, selecting that. So I'm saying that this, whenever I go out and do one of these jobs, it is a maintenance job. And then in my reporting, if I go to reports, I can look up, I can filter my jobs by maintenance. So it makes it very easy to look up your maintenance calls. And appointment duration default, this is really just to save a little time for your office personnel when they are scheduling. This is saying, this plan will take this long, and that will auto-populate when you go to schedule these visits. So that is everything on the template. When you're ready, click Save Maintenance Plan. That will then bring you back to the maintenance plan templates page. And you'll see those here. If it is until canceled, you'll see the contract length is 20. If it is, if they have multiple service windows, you can at a glance see those service windows here. You could see the colors of the stars. And if you want to get rid of a plan, you can click the minus sign on the right here. All right. And so now let's actually start adding maintenance plans. How does this actually work in the system? The first place we're going to go to is a customer page. To get to a customer page, you type in the customer name. In this scenario, we'll use Mary Smith. Type their name in the search in the top right. Click on their profile, and it will bring you to their profile page. Once you're on a customer page, every customer page has a maintenance plan tab. So you'll start on the timeline tab. You'll want to click on maintenance plans. And now we're going to run through a couple scenarios of how you may want to add maintenance plans. The first scenario, and this is really for those who are new to the system, new to WEX FSM. Maybe you're still in onboarding and you've just signed up. Most likely, if you're running a maintenance plan program, you already have plans that are happening. You are maybe in the middle of visits and you need to backdate the current maintenance plans you have into your new WEX FSM system. So the first example we're going to do is just simply adding a maintenance plan with no payment. To do this, you will click the red plus button here. Select the plan you would like to add. Let's use our Comfort Club plan we looked at earlier. The description populates right away for you. Determine a couple details. Is today the start date, or are you going to start this on Monday of next week? When does the contract start? What is the price? Are we charging $100 to this customer? Do we need to charge more or less? We can update that here. And then you can grab a customer signature. If let's say the customer is in the store with you, you're signing them up for a plan. You can just get them to sign here. But It's not required. So if you don't have them there, if you're not able to get their signature, that's fine. You can just click next to move on to your service windows. Again, this is all customizable now. Any updates that I make to this are not going to affect the original template. For this scenario, this looks great. Maybe I want to add an additional service window to do a filter change at some point. I can do that as well. And then maybe the filter change I'll do between May and August. This is up to you. Add as many service windows as you need. The main thing you need to know is that each of these will create a job once I add this to the customer, and then we will use those jobs to do our scheduling. If you need to delete a service window, click delete. And the last thing I'd say on this is just make sure, click this drop down and make sure that the time frame for the first service window is selected. We are in April, so we know that it's the January to June service window. So I'll select that. Click next. Reminders, this is really just saying like who are we going to reach out to when it's time to schedule their maintenance visits? And you want to make sure you have correct contact info here. And then click next to payment. Now for this example, we are backdating a plan, or maybe we're offering a free plan as a perk for a customer. This is not taking any payment up front. And so we will click not now and hit done. And then we can see here is the Comfort Club plan. Mary now has a star next to her name. If I hover over the star, I can see which plan it is. And this is a great way just to keep track of what plan they're on and what services you have provided. We can see right now that there are two unscheduled jobs. There's the AC cleaning job and the heat cleaning job. Let's say I'm backdating this and I know that I have already done the AC cleaning. I can go in and just click on this calendar and then backdate this to when I actually did the cleaning. So let's say I went out and serviced their AC, did their maintenance. We'll hit schedule now. And let's say we did this back on March 18th. And I was there between 1 and 2 p.m. And my technician, Dustin, is the one who actually did that. You can add any notes needed, but we now will schedule. That will put an appointment in the past, and it's marked as scheduled. The last piece of this to make sure we're saying that this has been completed is we're going to click edit appointment one more time and mark this as complete. And this is, if it depends on how detailed you would like to get. For some of my customers, they're not putting a price. They're going to put $0 as a balance. You know you've already been paid. So you will just keep track of the rest of this. When you sign them up for a new plan, then you'll take payment in WEX FSM. But if you have already taken payment, you could just set the balance to 0 and know that that has already been paid for. If you want to document that payment and backdate that payment to the maintenance plan, you can do that by going to Payments, Record Payment, and then we want to do a payment without an invoice. And so this scenario is I'm backdating the payment that the customer made, maybe in a previous software for this maintenance plan. And here's the key part to this is apply a portion or all of this to a maintenance plan. We're going to apply this $100 payment to the Comfort Club plan. And then we are going to say what payment method they used. Let's say When they paid for it in the previous system, it was with a check, and they did it, let's say, on March 18th when it started, and record payment. If we go back to maintenance plans and refresh, we can see that $100 has been applied and the balance is now 0. And then in the fall, when we go to do the heat cleaning, this is already set up. So it'll just look like a normal plan that we need to finish out the second visit for in your system. So that's one option. And this is for my new WEX FSM users. If you need to backdate and want a record of your maintenance plans from a previous system, this also works if you need to add a plan without taking payment, like giving someone a free plan for a promotion. That is one way to do this. Next, let's talk about selling maintenance plans on your job forms, like selling it through an invoice. To do this, let's go to our customer, Justin Hernandez. I would just type for Justin here and go to his profile. So in this scenario, we're going to sell a maintenance plan and take payment from an invoice through a job. To create a job, you can go to the customer's page. You can click on the last quick action here. It says create a new job form. And if I am going to sell a maintenance plan, like this job is specifically to sell this maintenance plan, I'll go ahead and mark the job type as maintenance and name it maintenance plan. That way I know that this is the job with the invoice that I sold the plan on originally. And let's sell it through an invoice. So we will select create new invoice. Yes, you can do it with proposals as well. You can add a proposal to you can add a maintenance plan to a proposal, but you can't take payment on a proposal. It would need to then be converted to an invoice to take payment, which is where we're at now. As a pro tip, there's many different ways to sell maintenance plans. And if you run a business, you know you're selling the plan in all kinds of ways as well. Maybe you are already at a customer location, you're working on something different, and then you say, hey, if you sign up for our maintenance plan, then you wouldn't have had this problem. We would have caught it early, and here's why it's great. And you would be selling them the plan in addition to the service you're already providing. Or maybe you're selling it specifically, like, hey, my neighbor said I should get on your Comfort Club plan or something. Like, can you just sell that to me? You would sell it to them directly through an invoice. So the example that we're doing now is we're selling the plan directly, only the plan. But just know you can add other items from your price book and sell it at the same time. To sell a maintenance plan on an invoice, we're going to scroll down and we're going to click recommend a maintenance plan. And remember the plans that we created earlier are templates. That's what shows here. So we said there was different ways to do this. If I am the technician, I'm standing in front of the customer, I'm building out this invoice. If I have all of my plan templates built out per system, I can just look at how many systems there are and select the plan, and it will already have the pricing. I don't have to do math or anything. Or maybe I will have a $0 plan, and I'll look at the systems, look at my price sheet, and create that price in the moment. For today's example, we do have a price for our Comfort Club plan. That'll be $100 a year, and we will tap Save. Now, when you hit save, this is going to be like a recommended item first. This is probably where you will be talking to the customer and say, hey, you sign up for our Comfort Club plan. It is a 1-year contract. Will come out twice a year. Here's a service we'll provide, and it's $100. They say, yes, that sounds great. We'll go ahead and sign them up by clicking sign up now. And now we're actually setting the customer up and adding them to our maintenance plan program. If your template is set up correctly, you may not need to make any changes to this. So this is already has our name, our description, the date it's going to start, the price. This is great. If you need to make changes to this unique for this customer, that's great as well. And it will not update your original default template. Down below, click Next. We saw an example of this earlier when we were setting up the plan. So this is exactly the same. This is saying we're coming out between January and June for an AC cleaning, July to December for a heat cleaning, etc. Click Next. Confirm this is who we will reach out to when it's time to schedule the actual maintenance visit. Click Next, and now we are doing payment. So for this example, we're taking payment and we're going to have the customer pay up front. They're going to pay for the year, $100, and then we will come out and service them when it's time. So we want to put this on the invoice and then set this to $100. I do want to mention, and we said this earlier, you can set them up on a payment plan. The payment plan option will tell you how much the plan is. You can select a frequency. Do you want it to auto debit monthly, quarterly, or annually? When will the first payment be and the last payment? Auto generate invoices is turned on by default here. I recommend leaving this on every time an auto debit goes through to pay for this maintenance plan. It will create an invoice and then that will act as like a receipt, a historical record. It'll be a paid invoice in your system in the job for this maintenance plan. Select a tax group and then enter their information. They can give you their card information, credit or debit card, or their bank information, which will allow it to be an ACH charge. Once you have this set up, you'll click Done, and that will put them on a payment plan. And again, I do highly recommend if you're going to do a payment plan, you will want to choose the until canceled contract option. That way, the payment plan is just going to recur, and then you'll have the next 20 years of jobs already mapped out, and then they can cancel at any time. For today's example, we're going to do $100 and add it to the invoice and click Done. And there we go. We have our invoice. We have our Comfort Club plan that we're selling the customer, all the details about it, and the price. We'll scroll down and take payment. And payment is going to be just like selling anything else. Pay now will send the money to your bank account after it processes through WEX FSM. Record payment is if you are processing outside of WEX FSM. A good example of this, if someone gives you cash, you're not going to process that through your device. You'll need to take that cash to the bank, but you still want to record that that payment happened. So let's see an example of this. We are selling the Comfort Club plan for $100, and we're going to take payment through the invoice by clicking record payment. This is just yelling at me because I don't have a signature from the customer. You do not need to get a signature to bypass this. You can click yes, but as always with any contract, it is good to get a signature. Now, this is pre-selecting this invoice we're on, which is what we want. This is saying we're going to pay for this invoice, which is $100. And then down below, it already knows that we're applying this to a maintenance plan. So that is already selected, and we're showing that this $100 payment is going towards the Comfort Club plan. And after this payment is made, this will be at a zero balance. Payment method is, let's say, a check, paying today, and record payment. Okay, so in our scenario here, Justin heard about our maintenance plan program and said, let me sign up. We went ahead and created the invoice, added the payment plan, and took payment. So now if we look, Justin has a star. And Justin is now part of our maintenance plan program. But the question then becomes, how do I keep track of the visits? And when it's time, how will I know that I, number one, owe Justin a visit, and two, that it has been completed and paid for? How do I keep track of that? There's two main ways that I recommend doing this. One is simply per customer. If you go to a customer page and you go to their maintenance plan tab, that will tell you everything you need to know about the status of their maintenance plan. I can see from this, Justin is on the Comfort Club plan. He's already paid. $100 has been applied. If I click on this, it'll tell me how it was paid by check. And then here are the visits. So I can see we have two unscheduled visits. So that means we have not done the AC cleaning or the heat cleaning just yet. But I've got my technician. I'm going to call Justin. Hey, let's come out on Friday at 3 p.m. Does that sound good? Sounds good to me. Click the calendar and then schedule the visit. The nice thing about doing it this way is it already knows that it's the AC cleaning job and will organize this visit, this appointment, into the proper maintenance job that's connected to the maintenance plan. So this is one way to do it. You can do all your scheduling per customer individually from their maintenance plan tab page. But if you have hundreds of customers, that could get tedious. You would have to go to 100+ different accounts and schedule from different places. So another way you can schedule your visits and keep track of those is through the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report. To get there, we're going to go to reporting in the top navigation. And then under the jobs section, we'll go to maintenance plan appointment scheduling. And I love this report. Click on that and that will bring you here. Now, why do I love this? Number one, this is showing you all of your maintenance visits in your system at a glance. So we can see everyone in my system who has a visit. But usually, if I'm here, I need to schedule visits. I need to know, who do I owe a visit to right now? And have we serviced them? Are they scheduled? Are they unscheduled? Is it completed? And so to do this, I would get rid of the future tag and the next tag. That way, you just have current in both of these fields. This is saying we are within, or sorry, this one is their maintenance plan status is current. It's not expired. So they currently are within their plan, their contract. And then service windows is, are we within the service window time frame? So if the service window is January to June, we're within that service window and they would show up here. And then maybe I also want to filter by plan. So the Comfort Club plan. And I can also do it by status. Right now we can see for my Comfort Club plan within the current service window, I've already completed these. So if I'm just looking for who I owe a service to, I can change this to unscheduled appointment status. And now for the current time frame, these are the customers that I owe a service to. And then you can either use their customer info on the left, give them a call. Hey, Justin, we're going to come out on Thursday if that works for you. And you just click on unscheduled, the status, and you can do all of your maintenance visit scheduling right from this page. You don't have to go to customer profiles. You don't have to go to the schedule page. You can manage, view, and schedule all your maintenance plan visits from this report. You can also send out reminders. And this comes in really handy, especially if you have like one person in the office who does everything and wears all the hats. This is a big time saver because you can send a reminder to everyone you owe a service to, click review, and hit send. And that will send a message to their preferred communication method that says, hey, it's time for us to come out and do your, spring's maintenance. Please contact us so we can get you scheduled. So great place here to schedule your appointments. And the last topic that we will go over today is the maintenance plan discount feature and how that works in your system. Let's navigate to more applications, price book, pricing defaults. The pricing's defaults page, just as an overview, this will show you your standard price in your system for parts, but it will also show you the different discounts or price increases that you have in your system. So, as an example here, maintenance plan price, this is a discount. And let's talk about how this works. Typically, in the industry, if you are selling a maintenance plan to someone, you will give them certain perks for being part of your maintenance plan program. Let's say that anytime I do a service for a maintenance plan customer, they get 10% off parts. So to get people to sign up, you let them know, hey, not only are we going to service your maintenance, or we're going to maintenance your systems, make sure those are in good order. That's going to save you money from costly repairs in the future. We're also going to give you a discount on any other service that we do for you. And that is the benefit of being part of our Comfort Club plan. This now is set up automatically in your system. You will choose what discount you would like to provide here. And then any customer that's a maintenance plan customer, it will automatically apply the maintenance plan pricing to any job you do for them. If this is something that you want, put your discount here. If this is something you don't want, let's say you do not want to offer a maintenance plan discount, you would just make sure that this is set to 0. So that's up to you, but we are going to give a -10. Oh, minus, there we go. If you put a minus, it will subtract the percent. If you don't put a minus, it will increase. Like for our after hours pricing, it's an upcharge of 25%. But here we will put -10. And then when you create an invoice for a maintenance plan customer, you don't have to think about it. It will automatically apply the maintenance plan pricing to the items where maintenance plan pricing is turned on. So the last little kind of tip here is there are two things at play as it relates to the discount. Number one, set your discount here. Number two, determine in your price book which items you want the discount to apply to and which you don't want it to apply to. Let's see an example of this now. If we go to more applications, price book, my price book, this is where you can get detailed on what you offer a maintenance plan discount on and what you don't. For example, I'm going to hit the drop down here and we're going to go to my general part as an example. And you can see maintenance plan price is on. So anytime I sell this product to a maintenance plan customer, it's going to give them a 10% discount. And instead of charging them $300, it will only charge them $270. That's because I want this discount to apply to this product. But you know what I don't want the discount to apply to is my labor. So let's look at my labor item. I have my discounts turned off completely. I'm not trying to discount my labor. And so since this is off, here's how this will work. I create an invoice, I add a bunch of parts. It applies the discount to those parts. Then I add my labor, it will not apply the discount to my labor. So this is your way to control whether or not the percentage discount will apply or not. So the synergy between these two, number one, go to more applications, maintenance. Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, more applications, price book, pricing defaults. Set your discount. Then go to your price book, more applications, price book, my price book, and determine per item whether or not you want that maintenance plan discount to apply. Okay. So that is all the information we have for today's session. I hope you guys learned something. We're going to move to our Q&A now, but before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Maintenance Plans Basics.